Sorry, Colm. This never happened. Now I know we were talking about Layer Cake before and the comparisons to this movie. Did you see the comparisons that way?
Not really, no. No, I didn't. Layer Cake was very much a true story narrative that sort of eventually comes together. No, not really.
Sure. It's not really the Duchess really isn't like a British crime movie. I feel like it's got more aspects to it at that point. It's not like a Guy Ritchie lock stock kind of movie. It's got
No,
kind of
no.
American action aspects to it too. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, I do. It feels very much like an American. It also felt to me like an American movie of the '60s, sort of. With the narration and the character names coming up and the freeze frames and things like that. It's sort of I liked it very much.
It kind of gave me a Thomas Crown Affair appeal, but with
Exactly. I was going to say Thomas Crown Affair, and then so compare a bit odd sometimes, but absolutely a Thomas Crown Affair feel. Yeah.
You're 71 years old. I think you have like the choice of movies you want to do now. Like what do you want to do as an actor still? Like I'm sure you get sent a lot of stuff. What is that process like for you?
Well, I just did a film that I was delighted with. I was absolutely thrilled to do it. Called The Panic, written and directed by Dan Adams, and great cast: Kerry Elvis, Malcolm McDowell, Tim Daly. Just terrific people. And it was about the financial crash of 1907, which very few people know about. I guess completely overshadowed by the Wall Street crash of '29. But but it was like an investigation into these financial crises and how they come about, and they're all in. I played J.P. Morgan, and they were all. Barney was in it. Schwab was in it. Rockefeller. They're all in there. And it was beautifully written and a real challenge in a way, but just a joy to play. Wonderful characters. A sort of a great weight to the subject, and I have great hopes for the film. I think it'll do very well. I think there's an audience there for that type of film as well, and they're not made anymore. These films, and as a result, Dan, the director, writer, producer, everything, was he was under such terrible pressure. We shoot it in 20 days, and then midway through production, they cut it to shoot it in 18 days. And this is a film that was a period. It's character driven. It needed a lot more than that, but we did it. That's what happens. That you achieve the impossible, and then producers come along and say, "Well, you did that in 18 days. You can do the next one in 16." It's like the way the industry's gone is cruel. But
Yeah.
but having said that, to get it made and to get it out there was a terrific achievement, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But that's very satisfying for me to make a movie like that. So that's my ambition is to continue in the same vein for as
Sure.
long as I can.
When I told people I was going to be interviewing, I usually ask my fans and followers if they have any questions. And a lot of the questions I think you probably know are focused on Star Trek, but one I got that was super interesting was about your time on Con Air. Somebody asked me to ask you, is John Malkovich actually acting in Con Air? Is that just how he is in general?
He's a bit like that in general, but John is an extraordinary actor. Extraordinary actor. He's wonderful. He makes everything his own, and that's something I think is only the greats do. They make it very much their own. And he's also a wonderful human being. I don't know how to answer that question. Which is the greater, the actor or the man? I don't know. He's extraordinary and a
Incredible
very
name in Con Air too, Cyrus the Virus. You can't escape
yeah
that one.
yeah yeah. And he's also a very funny man. He had us laughing quite a lot.
My family has a connection to Die Hard too. I was watching it the other day. you're Miles, you're Chief O'Brien on Star Trek when Die Hard 2 comes out. How did you get cast as random pilot who like explodes on the runway?
Shit, I don't know. It's so long ago, I don't remember. uh, no, it was my early days in Los Angeles. When was Die Hard 2? What year was that?
91, 92, I think.
It was my kind of fairly early days in Los Angeles, and I was doing like a lot of episodic. I was doing Remington Steele, a lot of different episodic stuff as well. So basically, just running around auditioning, and yeah, so that was one of the auditions, and I don't know if I auditioned for that particular character, but don't even they ended up casting me as that, and it was very funny because it should have been like a a 3 or 4 day shoot at max. But it ended up being about 8 or 9 weeks because they kept going out of town looking for snow. It was supposed to be snow in Denver, and they couldn't get any snow there. They went up to Calgary, I think. Then they went all over the way. So they kept. No, we're going to shoot that Wednesday, and then come Wednesday, no, we're going to shoot it next Wednesday, and it went on. It was a great gig actually because it paid me a decent bit of money when I needed it.
I totally forgot you were in it until I was watching it the other day and was on. I was like, all right, Colm was the Windsor pilot that crashed into the runway here.
Yeah.
And I'm Star Trek: The Next Generation was the first Star Trek show I ever got to watch. I used to watch it with my dad, the reruns and everything like that. Were you ever disappointed when you moved to Deep Space Nine that you didn't get to play in any of like the movies from First Contact to Insurrection to Nemesis? Like you didn't get to do any of that stuff?
No,
No.
no, not at all. No, no. I was very pleased with the way things went. In that when they asked me to go over to DS9 because they wanted to expand the character and all that, I was very reluctant to do it. Not because I wanted to stick with the Next Generation necessarily, but that I didn't want to commit to a regular contract because I was working in features as well, and I didn't want to lose, that part of my career, if you like. And I sort of felt that I should not do DS9, and then the guys got producers got sat me down and started talking about it, and but basically convinced me that if there was a feature film I really wanted to do, that they would allow me out to do it, and they pretty much stuck to that for the 7 years I was there. So by doing DS9, I was able to continue to do feature. Like I think most seasons of DS9, I did at least a couple of feature films during the same year, which when you're committed to 26 episodes, a 9-month schedule, that's pretty decent. I mean, when I was shooting Con Air, I was shooting nights in Las Vegas, flying early morning to Los Angeles and shooting Star Trek during the day.
Sure. Last question before we wrap up here. I'm currently doing this interview from Philadelphia, and I know you spent some time here when you guys filmed Law Abiding Citizen when you were a detective in that movie. Any memories or things you can share from being in Philadelphia or from the set of that movie filming it here?
We had a lovely time in Philadelphia. I love the city's very beautiful. And my wife was with me, and our daughter was very young at the time. We had some. The one thing that stuck with me, which is very strange. Since then, I had I'm in Spain, right? I'm in Mallorca, and at the time, and even then, we had a place here. We had a house in Spain in Mallorca, and Manchego cheese is a Spanish cheese, and it's made on a neighboring. I'm on Mallorca. The next island over is Menorca, and but I had the best Manchego cheese I ever had in Philadelphia. Bizarre. There was a wonderful deli near where we were staying. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a wonderful, wonderful deli. And so I always remember Philadelphia for its food.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, I'm from Chicago originally. I'd be like 300 pounds if I still lived there. But here, I eat well. So
yeah.
But Colm, I appreciate you sitting down with me today. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and I can't wait for
No
everybody to
problem.
see you in the Duchess when it comes out tomorrow.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Thanks. I appreciate